And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, and I got a good one for y'all today. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm even excited about this one. I put my Team Mercedes shirt on because Lewis Hamilton is getting into the points again. I'm an F1 fan. For those who don't know, Sir Lewis Hamilton is one of the greatest F1 drivers to ever do it. The season started out shaky, but he's getting better. They're getting that car under control. Mercedes finished third and fourth today. His teammate Russell actually podiumed, and then of course Red Bull, they won 1 and 2. Boo, boo, boo. We ain't Red Bull over here. I'm hating. I'm a Red Bull hater. Anyway, today I have the entire Fresh and Fit Dallas team that agreed to come on to my humble platform and bless me with their presence, and I'm so proud that these young men are out there doing what they're doing, first of all. And what I really want to do is figure out why mainstream America, mainstream YouTubers hate the red pill slant manosphere so much. That's what I really want to figure out. And I wanted to show the world what it looks like. People want to paint this picture that these crazy guys with these crazy ideas who are hell-bent on keeping women subservient in the in the kitchen, barefoot, pregnant, and we're just going to take over the world. That's not a thing, people. That's not a thing. I can't tell you how many folks have hit me up that don't know me, telling me that I shouldn't hang out with Myron Gaines. I shouldn't be a part of the manosphere. Again, people that don't know me. And to you people, you know what I mean? All I got to say is, when you got these things you need to say, come say them to me, not online. You can tell me where you are. I'll come see you. It's not a problem. And you can say it to me, man to man. And I promise it won't hurt that much. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the members of Fresh and Fit Dallas. And we're going to bring them up one by one. And we're going to get a little background on who they are, and then we're going to delve right into it because I didn't want to wait. And already we got Candace M in the building. Thank you so much, Candace, for jumping by. She hit the like button on the way in. Google Facts even jumped in. I'm not sure if this is part of I don't know what this is, Google Facts, but this is the start of something special. Timing is everything. So proud of this group coming together and creating what the world needs. Leaders, which whoever you are, salute to you, Google Facts. Respect. I really appreciate that. And then we got Brother Rod already in there, hashtag Fresh and Fit Dallas. You know what I mean? We making it happen. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you, there he is right there in the flesh, Fresh and Fit Dallas himself, the number one guy, you know what I mean, of the number one dudes. You know what I'm saying? Brother Rod, what's good, man? How you feeling?
What's going on? What's going on with you guys?
All right, man, we chilling, man. You know what I mean? Little clap there. So I know who you are, and I know a little bit about your history. Of course, we've met in real life, you know what I mean, which is something I like to do, especially in this YouTube world. You know, YouTube, TV, YouTube, all that, that's not real life. If you really want to know somebody, you got to shake their hand and look them in the eye. So why don't you tell these folks out here who you are, brother?
Well, good afternoon. First and foremost, I'm Roderick Shepherd the second. People know me on the internet now as Rod Eric, and I'm part of an amazing podcast, a Fresh and Fit podcast. And I'm originally from Dallas. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. Born and raised here. I'm 34, and right now, man, I'm just excited to be here. Thank you, DL Saint, for having me on this podcast, on this platform, because we needed this space to be able to share our experiences and where we want to go in life. So, man, shout out to you. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I am. For example, be the example.
There you go. Thanks, bro. That's cool. That's what's up, man. And then we also got brother Samuel up in the house, man. What's good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what I mean? So, same thing, bro. In a nutshell, tell the world who you are.
Thank you, Dio. Saying, hey, what's up, guys? Sam Adebayo here, 26 years old. Not really Dallas native, but I mean, I can call myself Dallas native. I've been living here in Texas almost like, I want to say 20, 22 years. But, you know, it's been an amazing experience just being here. You know, kind of like Rod said, for the example, you know, we're out here, kind of what I do a little bit, project administrator, and then I also do real estate on the side. I'm really trying to build up that side hustle, of course. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of me in a nutshell. And yeah, shout out to you, DLC and Rod Eric, man. I'm really, really excited to be here.
That's what's up. Thank you. And shout out to you for even doing it, man. And then next up is no stranger to this world. There he is, the crazy sailor himself. Brother JR, man. What's good, brother?
Oh, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Perfect. Yes. All right. So my name is JR. I'm from Dallas, Texas as well. I lived here for 18 years, moved to California for a little bit, and then went to school in Kentucky. And I came back home. You know, there's no place like home in Dallas, Texas. Let's see. I work for tech, and I'm just trying to be like these boys, you know, trying to better myself every day and become a better person than I was yesterday.
That's what's up, bro. And do me a favor. Let's go 2 points down on your volume on your device.
Okay.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for being such a cool dude. And thank you for knocking me down to the ground. I tried to pick him up, man. That dude's big as a mountain. I tried to pick him up in Dallas. Yeah, we might have had a couple drinks. There might have been some alcohol involved. And I fell down. But they were nice enough to pick my old ass up and dust me off. That was a great time. William Stewart, brother William, I'm still kicking myself in the ass for not chopping it up with you because we were next to each other throughout the majority of the event and downstairs when we were getting out of the heat for a sec. It's all good, brother. You know me. We know each other. There are going to be more events. We're going to talk about that because these boys in Dallas got big plans. Stick around for the show because you can hear what they're talking about. If I could get them to reveal those plans, we'll see. You know what I mean? Fresh and Fit Dallas, we up. Y'all know what it is. You know what I mean? And then brother Don, what's up, man? How you feeling? Welcome to the platform. Thank you for doing this. You know the drill. Tell us who you are, brother.
Yeah, first and foremost, thank you so much for having us on this platform, DL. We really appreciate the opportunity. A little bit about myself, though. I'm 35 years old. Originally from Providence, Rhode Island, so I came a very, very long way. Grew up in a military household, just a little bit of background on how I ended up from Providence all the way to Dallas, but I do love it out here. This is home for me. And right now, as far as a profession, I actually work in insurance as a service operations supervisor.
Outstanding. I have a whole lot of questions. I'm telling y'all now, I'm gonna be bringing y'all back individually. This is just this is the group thing. This is like we got the whole SEAL Team 6. You know what I mean? We call this my SEAL Team 6 episode, but I'll bring y'all back as individuals as we move forward because I definitely want to delve in deeper with your personal. And then last but certainly not least, Sinkers in the house, man. What is good? What is good? So you know, he's the Hollywood of the crew. That's Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky, what they called him, had to show up. You know, you know what I mean. But brother, tell the world who you are, brother. Unmute yourself.
He's also the moron in the group too.
Can you hear it? We might have some. We might have some audio problems. Let's see, because keeps trying to talk to us. Because I don't have you muted on my end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say drop out and then try to jump back in, and you might want to use headphones. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know if can you hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear us. You can hear us?
Hello.
So I would say come out of the stream and then come back in. And then we can and then maybe if you can plug in some headphones, maybe that'll make a difference. I don't know. Let's try it again because we can't hear you. We can't hear you at all. You know what I'm saying? See what happened with pretty people come, man? You got problems, man.
Always.
And guess who just jumped in, man? Oh, no, it's Joey Crack, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What's good, y'all?
Got the whole team. We got the whole team. Let's go.
Let's do it, baby.
The Marvelous Six.
That's it, like for real, for real. The Marvelous Six, you know what I mean? So, Joey, man, thanks for coming. You know what? And that's what we'll call this episode. We'll call it the Magnificent Seven episode because I'm an old
Let's go.
Western gunfighter kind of
Let's
guy.
go.
That's what we're going to call this
Hey.
the Magnificent
We do
Seven.
it live. We do it
Yeah,
live.
we'll
You
do it live.
know?
So, Joey, tell us real briefly who you are, what you're about, and so the world out there know who you are. We know who you are, but you need to share that with everybody else.
I'm Joey, well, my real name is Joel. I go by Joey though. 35, blue collar worker basically. I'm all about, self-improvement, at this point, doing better, being better, and basically contributing to dudes that's trying to do the same thing in whatever way I can. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, bro. That's what it is. So we're off to a good start. You know what I mean? Like Cinca will get through. We'll get him sorted out. That's not a problem. So, but we'll delve right into it. My big thing now is y'all know Uncle Saint believes in the Constitution. I believe in freedom of speech, right? I believe in freedom of religion. I believe in everything that the Constitution stands for. In fact, I believe in it so much that I put my life on the line for it, right? And you know, what I mean, JR knows, then those of us who serve know what we're talking about. So when I see people who try to stifle these sort of things, when I see people who try to shut down free speech, I don't care if your speech is hateful. I don't care what you're talking about. You have a right to talk about it, and I have a right not to listen to it, right? But
Facts.
and it seems to me that for me, like the whole manosphere red pill world, I see the good in it. So I'm going to ask y'all some questions because there's so many people who want to make this world out to be this evil place where these bad things are going on. Could there be some bad things going on in the red pill world? Yeah, absolutely. Do I agree with everything that I see and hear in that space? No, I don't agree with everything. But do I agree with the message to bettering yourself and all these other things that we're going to talk about? Like, absolutely, I do. So when we ask these questions, we'll go from Rod, and then we'll just kind of move on from that point. Like, if your screen is set up like mine, we'll move left, right? So here's the first question, and so fellas, how did you discover the manosphere? And we'll start with you there, Rod.
Mine's is pretty interesting. It's an interesting journey. So I go into the year, and I'll be very brief. So I started in the year 2015, 2016. I went through a horrible breakup. I was in a semi-domestic, dispute with a woman. I moved in with a woman, right? I was in college. I was a senior, right? And all this stuff that they talk about now leading up to this point is absolutely true. At that point, I didn't know what was going on. So I did what I know naturally to do was to leave the situation because with my background and what I came from, the strong family ties and being my mother and father being in my house, there was no way I was going to allow a woman to just do whatever she wanted to do. So leading up into, I'll probably say 2016, 2017, I got introduced to AMS, Alpha Male Strategy. Shout out to AMS. This is when he started coming up, and he was talking about the manosphere, how a lot of guys was bitching and complaining. They was talking about female nature and why we can't do nothing. And all AMS was saying, look, we need to come with solutions. So started my journey with AMS. To be quite honest, I didn't know how to take it, but I just was in my own car listening to the podcast, and it was just like, man, this guy is really onto something. So as it progressed, AMS led me to Coach Greg Adams. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. And then I learned from Coach Greg Adams, the free agent lifestyle. I got his books. I started just consuming content, reading books, listening to a lot of the information, and it just started making sense as I was progressing in my life. At that time, I was about 27, 28 years old. I'm straight out of college. I was actually on a path to the NFL. I was playing to try to play sports and stuff like that. So that didn't work out for me. So I ended up getting my degree. I have 2 degrees, a bachelor. I have a bachelor of science in sociology. And so all of this stuff was going on, and I needed a job. So I ended up going into sales. I had people through and through telling me, do not do this. I was on 100% commission. I'd never been in nothing a part of that. And I was out there going door to door, knocking doors, selling cable and internet with Verizon. And now people know in Texas and Florida and California as Frontier Communications. So
Bro,
I was selling it
that's a hard gig. First of all, shout out to you. What you said 100% commission.
100% commission.
So if you don't sell, you don't eat.
Exactly. So I got people out here telling me you're crazy. You went to school. Why are you doing this? You should be able to get a job. Why isn't this happening for you? And I'm telling you, just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you're gonna walk into there. You still got to go through entry level, and you still have to show yourself approved and what you are. You're not entitled, and that's what a lot of people thought. You go to school, you get a degree, you get entitled. And then I even people had saying go back and get a master's degree if you can't find a job. So I was like, nah, I'm good. Let me get out in the workforce and be work my butt off. I have the work ethic to do what I need to do. So I was knocking those doors, and at the same time, I'm learning AMS, I'm learning all these things, and then I'm getting red pill as I learn door to door sales. Because when you go out there, no matter how good looking you are, no matter how good of a person you are, if you don't know how to close people and give people your product and sell them on why they should take it from you, you're not gonna eat. So I'm learning this within a 3 year span. I'm going door to door. I'm learning a management training program where I'm managing 10 to 12 people at a time. I have two sets of leaders. I'm getting all this red pill stuff and don't even know it because I'm seeing how the world really works. So fast forward, I'm listening to Coach Greg Adams, Alpha Male Strategies. Coach Greg Adams led me to Kevin Samuels. Shout out to him, rest in. And then Kevin Samuels led me to Fresh and Fit, and this is pretty much where I'm at. So I have a pretty much a dynamic of almost four different types of approaches where they all talking about the same thing, and it was a gradual progression over the years. So if you add up what 2015 all the way up to now, that's about 7+ years now, going 8+ years. This is where I'm at today, and look at what we've created. Getting out here, being able to share my experiences with you guys, with you, DL Saint, with Fresh and Fit, with Myron and Fresh and all of them, and everyone else in the manosphere. This is what this product has been over 7+ years in the making. So all of this stuff I'm doing is very calculated and on purpose because I'm naturally growing as a man. I'm 34 years old. I'll be 35. This is where the minister talks about you growing and progressing. I'm seeing it real time. So,
That's what's
so yeah.
up, bro. That's what's up. And Brother Williams out there, JR as usual, loud as fuck, which is hilarious. And he's like, I want to make it the Elite Eight. We got Mr. Savage. Shout out to Fresh and Fit Dallas. Shout out to you, sir. And
What up?
Right here, I wanted to take a pause for a moment to give flowers to Suzette Speaks. Suzette Speaks podcast. The first platform that ever had me on. She really helped the brother out, and not just me. She's helped a lot of people. Shout out to you, Suzette. Brothers, do me a favor. Do me a personal favor. Go to her page and subscribe for me, man. You know what I mean? She's had me on twice. We did Marriage is Dead episode, which boy, it was that was a good episode. I enjoyed it. And we talked about we just did another one we talked about hypergamy on her page. Now, I like to give, she takes a lot of heat sometimes for bringing me on, but it's always good conversations and it's always respectful. Shout out to you, Suzette. Thank you so much for being there. And like I said, people go out there, go to her channel, subscribe. She puts out some real good content, and I'm slowly bringing her over to the red pill side. Slowly dragging her over, kicking and screaming. But yo, shout out to you. She's very sharp, very sharp. And then Google Facts. Rod Eric has emerged from the do or die mentality. Big ups to him. Absolutely big ups to him and everyone else out there is trying to make it happen. We got Michael Mengar online. Oh, yeah, but hey, man, that's Money Mike. What's going
that's
on?
Mike. That's Mike.
That's Money Mike right there,
Mike.
That's Money Mike, man. Change that.
What's up, bro?
You Money Mike, bro. We don't put you in the set, man. We don't put you on, man. You Money Mike. Remember that.
Hey, that brother got it. He young, he ambitious. Hey, that brother got it.
He got it. And we're gonna he's coming down. He's gonna be in Miami weekend of the 22nd, 23rd. I'm gonna be down there with him. Fresh and Fit Dallas in the building. Shout out to y'all. This is my brother right here. Jay Swan's in the house. What good, brother? Keep doing what you do. Thanks you, brother. I mean, that's that's him. You know what I mean? Mr. Savage, sub to Suzette Speaks. Hey, thank you so much for that. No, thank you for that, bro, because she's doing good things, man. I love supporting people who are doing good things. And what I love about Suzette Speaks and her platform, she is open-minded. Open-minded. Unlike all these other folks out there who are very closed-minded, right? Like I say, even if I don't like what you're talking about, we can agree to disagree. And we can have an open dialogue. And she does that. So shout out to Suzette. And thank you, brother, for doing that. Jay Swans, thanks for the no excuse to step out of the clubhouse. Told Naya I had to check on. Yeah, he had to check me out. He's using me to get out of shit. Now Naya, his wife, my sister, is gonna be mad at me. You know what I mean? And Suzette Speaks, thanks, DL. Appreciate the sub. So yeah, man, and it's gonna be hard for me to keep up with the chats. This is gonna be a good one, so I'll do my best because we're about to really get into it. And Michael Phoenix, did they fund the home invader? Hilarious. Hilarious. That was terrible how that went down, but I'm just glad they weren't there. How about that? Because that could have turned out really, really, really bad. I thought we had I thought Sinker jumped in again. We'll see. I think he's still working on that. Brother William, you used food coloring to dip the pill in red dye. Hilarious. And then it was like, did they find the home invader? That's what he wanted to know. Did they find the home invader? I don't believe that's the case that the police is really going to worry about. You know, it was an Airbnb. It was a burglary. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a home invasion. No one got hurt. Dallas PD got way bigger cases to crack. I don't think they're worrying about someone who took Fresh's bag. So they got his keys. So all right, so we got those chats in, and I'm sorry to go off on that tangent, but brother Samuel, man, what are your thoughts? How did you discover the manosphere? Go.
Yeah, no, definitely. Not to go on a whole like background life story. I think for me, it kind of started in 2016. My older brother introduced me, and shout out to Tim out there in Austin. Hope y'all can build FNF Austin, but it ain't gonna be as close as FNF Dallas was good. But yeah. He introduced me to this book called How to Be a 3% Man by Coach Corey Wayne. And that, it was a little bit of an older approach, but a lot of the concepts still apply. There's some RP truths in there as well. And it really taught you it didn't tell you the why behind like female nature, but it told you like how to kind of navigate it and, things to do. So that's when I was slowly turning from blue pill to, red pill, because, prior to that, the typical heartbreaks, the simp activities and not understanding, like, I don't understand, like I'm pouring my heart and soul into this girl, like, why does she leave me for some other dude, or why does this happen? So that book really made me understand, female nature. It didn't necessarily make me understand the why, but just kind of how to, navigate that. After 2016, graduated college, community college out there, TCC in Arlington. And then, went to, of course, SMU Dallas, shout out to the Ponies, went through there. And all throughout that time, I really just focused on school and everything. And my main focus was to try to find a job. Because, growing up as, a Nigerian American, your African parents are extremely strict, so they're all about education. They're all about finding the right job. And that's the straight path that I took. And for 2.5 years in that school, I was grinding to actually trying to get that. And for 2.5 years, I couldn't get a single job or a single interview. And on the last day of school, I actually got a job, working for like corporate hotel chain. And so that was it. And I was like, yes, I finally did it. I could finally help out my family. Everything is good. Oh my gosh, I can actually create something for like generations now, because that's all I've been working for. And then 3 months later, I lost the job due to COVID. And then that was like, reality hit. And then I realized, like, damn, if this can happen to me, this can happen to anything. I think during that year, that's when I started to, reach out to people. And that's when I got a little bit into real estate, into the real estate market. After that, I started watching different content, started watching different things. And, my brothers at the time, they were already watching this man named Kevin Samuels. And so I would be in my room, but I would be, hearing some of the things that he would say. And I was like, oh, wow, that's actually pretty true. And so naturally I would just be listening to it. And then I actually started watching it as well. And I was like, oh, wow, like a lot of this is true. And, so after that, listening to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. After that, it kind of introduced me into Fresh&Fit. And that really, just like Rod said before me, it really connected the pieces that all these different creators were basically all talking about the same thing, from Coach Corey Wayne all the way to Kevin Samuels, all the way to Fresh&Fit. And Fresh&Fit really like put everything into perspective for me. And for the questions that I had, I wanted to understand the why behind the reason why what I'm doing was fucking up, or the reason why what I was doing was just like not working. And that really captured like the why. So through Fresh&Fit, I was able to reach out and, Rod Eric, he would always call in on those call-in shows every Friday, and he'd be like, hey, calling out to everybody in the Dallas area. I'm out here. Any of you guys who rock with Fresh&Fit, man, meet up with me and everything. And, we're out here. So I reached out to him. He was really cool. We chopped it up. I got to meet different members of F&F Dallas, and that's what we're here today. So shout out to you, Rod, and thank you, Dio.
Yo, that's my pleasure. And that's a good story, man, because, and we're going to get into this in a minute about networking, the importance of networking, and like some of the red pill tenets. But I wanted to get through this first question with everybody. Joey Crack, man, what brought you to the manosphere with the realness? You know what I'm saying? This the dude right here, like breaking rocks with his fists. You know what I mean? Taking a lunchbox to work. What got you to the manosphere, bro?
Man, a bitch. Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, but like, I was in a relationship like around the same time. Interestingly enough, around like 2016 ish. And she was a single mother. You know what I'm saying? And I guess things just didn't really work out the way I thought they should work out. You know what I mean? And well, at that time, I was still in the middle of the relationship, and I was just like, I went online because I was like, fuck it, let me just see what's out there. So I just got on YouTube and I just started searching things like dating single mother and stuff like that. And because the whole thing was like, me having the background that I have, I'm Dominican, so we got this traditional type background where like, normally, dudes were raised to be husbands and women raised to be wives and things like that. And, I basically was like taking on that role of not necessarily a husband, but trying to work my way to that. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at it like she wasn't really doing what she was supposed to do in my eyes. You feel me? And I felt like the dynamic just wasn't on point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Y'all got me. But it's like the whole Kevin Samuels talks about like masculine females and stuff like that, and that dynamic was kind of there because she's so used to leading her own life, her own way, doing things on her own. So when she stepped into my world, she didn't like necessarily know how to surrender that, so to speak. You know what I mean? And for a while, we was having problems because of that. Because I was like, yo, I'm the man. Like, you gotta do you. I gotta do me. And so basically, long story short, I started looking, just on YouTube because that's stuff that I used to do. What up, Sika? But that's stuff that, I would do like every now and then, whenever I have a question, I'll Google it like everybody else or YouTube or whatever. So I went on YouTube, dating single mothers. And interestingly enough, a video of Solo TV came up. The same guy that put Fresh and Myron together. You know what I mean? And he had this video. I don't know if he still has it up. He probably took it down. But he has this video of him like sitting on his couch talking about what he went through, dealing with single mothers and stuff like that. And by the way, I just got to say, like, that wasn't the first time that it happened with me. So with this particular chick, it was like the third time. And I was like, all right, something's got to give. Like, I'm not understanding. I'm thinking I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And
I need that button, bro. I need that button. Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Exactly. I got you. Got you. Don't worry. Don't worry
Exactly.
about
At that time, basically the first two relationships, it was like, all right, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I messed up or whatever. Cool. But by the third time, I'm like, all right, I know I'm doing things the right way. Something is up. You know what I'm saying? This can't be all me. You know what I mean? So at that point, I started looking for things, for answers or whatever. And so, like I said, it led me to Solo TV's one particular video, and then from there, it kind of branched out into the Black Manosphere, the creators of that time, the content creators at that time. And AMS, he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Angry Man, he was one of them. Kevin Samuels, he was one of them. Believe it or not, ladies, he was going in on dudes long before he started talking to women.
Yeah, and no one cared. He was calling.
No
dudes,
one gave a damn.
No one cared.
He was telling dudes straight up and down, what it is, and that nobody cared. Excuse me, nobody cared. So as the years went on or whatever, I was like stuck in this like red pill rage type of mode because they're giving me all this information and I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So after a while, I basically just decided to myself, like, yo, like, you can't live the rest of your life like this, bro. Like, you can't be angry about this and that for the rest of your life because at the end of these chicks ain't gonna change or whatever the case. So what you gonna do about it? You gonna be mad forever or whatever? Like, nah. So at that point, I just said, all right, I got to start doing better, And so I think I'm not gonna say that was right around the time Fresh and Fit came along, but they actually did came along like a couple years after the fact, and actually Myron is one of the dudes that actually motivate me to actually start my weight loss journey, which, I'm still on it, but basically like during COVID, people was dropping left and right supposedly, right? And one of the things that they were saying that I didn't know at the time, there was like, yo, a lot of these people were dying because they had pre-existing conditions from obesity. And at that time, I was like 275 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, man, I got to do something just for my own health. And it was like right around that time frame when, I found out about Fresh and Fit and, Myron was going in on fat niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, if you a fat piece of shit, man, it's like no excuse for that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right. So, these are the guys that I would listen to while I'm in the gym. You know what I'm saying? And basically, they kept me motivated, man. So, I'm still on it. I fell off a little bit, but I got back on it. The rest of the crew, they know whenever we first linked up, that was one of the first things I said that I got to work on. But basically, to go back to how I actually met these guys, when I started getting into their content, Fresh and Fit, I would like from time to time, I would see Rod's Instagram page, like, they would tag, they would put a story of people wearing the Fresh and Fit merch, and they'll be like, yo, we'll tag you guys on the stories and this and that. And yeah, you was wearing that shirt. You know what I'm saying? For example. Yeah, he was. I saw it on their IG, and I just, clicked on one of his pages, and I was like, oh shit, he's in Dallas. All right, I didn't really think much of it after that, but I saw him like 2-3 more times, and then I was like, all right, man. Like this kid, coming across my screen, let me holler at him. You know what I'm saying? So I went ahead and hollered at him. I was like, hey, bro, you fuck with Fresh and Fit? He's like, yeah. And, from there, we made basically the group to what it is now. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it for now. Like everybody's on their grind, whether it's, weight loss or, getting your finances up or bettering your social skills and things like that. That's what we all doing in the group at this point, you know what I'm saying? And everybody that's coming in that, has something of value to offer, we just bring it to the table and, we eat off of each other, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's what we on right now.
That's what's up. And then Sync will be next when he comes back. We finally got him in. We got him in there. We'll make sure we got volume and all that. So I'm just gonna catch up with a couple chats real quick, and then when Sync jumps back over here, we'll jump him in there. Shane will win. What's up, bro? He's saying it's fire. I definitely wanted to say a shout out to Viking Paradigm, bro. I see you over in Fresh and Fit world, man, holding it down, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I'm humbled that you even gave me an opportunity to come to my platform, bro. You've been on here more than once. Thank you. I mean that because I'm telling you, when you first get started, You know what I mean? Every person counts. Even when you big, every person counts. You get to the point
Right.
where you don't care how many people you have and how many people you're reaching. You might want to rethink what you're doing. So, Myron and Fresh they won't mention it, but
My
when they
man.
went through that stuff and they lost all those subs, man, it hurt them because they knew that they were losing an opportunity to reach out to more guys and help more men. So that's why Myron worked so hard and Fresh and Chris and the whole team, Trey back then and even now with Big Mo. That's why they work so hard, because they know there's one more guy that they can help. It's like that movie Hacksaw Ridge when that medic guy kept going, one more body. Let me get one more guy out of here. That's what Fresh and Fit is really doing. And we're going to delve into that a little bit later. So Viking brother, thank you, or brother Viking, I should say. Thank you so much, man, for your support. I do not take it lightly. Same goes for everyone in here. Shane will win, you know what I mean? And everyone who's out there. Thank you so much. Candace, like I said, can't wait to see you at the million sub party in Miami. She coming. So she coming. Her and her husband gonna be down there. I'm gonna show everybody's chat, but I won't be able to read them all. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do my best. Cinca, what's up, bro? Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Y'all hear me now?
Let's
Sir.
go. Let's
Good to have you
go.
quiet, man.
We did
I swear it was gonna be JR with the audio issues. I ain't.
it.
So Dig, let's get you caught up, bro. Tell the world who you are real quick in a nutshell, and at the end of that, also tackle on what brought you to the manosphere.
Yeah, so real quick, I'm a vibe creator. Pretty much, I'm just an average guy. I'm a scrum master, project manager. That's my profession. As far as like what I do, I kind of network. I kind of get around people, show them a good time. Just in a nutshell, do this stuff like that. On the side, I'm a mentor for kids and for adults, stuff like that. Kind of helping people um, bypass a lot of the roadblocks that I went through growing up. I'm 34, by the way. So that's just me in a nutshell. As far as like the red pill content, it's actually pretty weird. So like my story, I know some of the guys already know about this ride in particular. I came into the red pill manosphere not through dating. I actually came in through self improvement. And so like for me, I kind of hit my stride when I got to college, as far as like women dating, all that stuff. So I never really had a problem with that aspect. Now, as far as my personal brand, I always had issues with that. Like I was really good at making sure that I had my own style. I had things that I could do personally that made me stand out in front of people. So I was always that dude at school who like when Kanye started wearing the pink polos, I was already wearing polos. Dudes were still rocking, the New York style that was in at that time. When Pharrell was skateboarding, I was wearing like famous stars and straps and stuff like that. So me and my guys, we was always fashion forward. So we never really had a problem with that. But when I get out of college, I'm trying to rebrand myself because a lot of the jobs that I'm looking for, they're not hiring me. I'm not really understanding why. I know how to dress, I know how to present myself, but I just didn't understand the aspects of having a cleaner look. Having like I used to have dreads. I'm faded right now. I got the waves and everything, but I used to I used to have the qualities that a lot of people in corporate America really wouldn't look for in a person that they would want managing their money. And so I stumbled across Kevin Samuels, and he's talking about having an online presence, LinkedIn level presence, all those things. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of different. And he's oddly enough, I was listening to Joey when he was talking about how he was talking to men. I was watching the episode where he was telling the guys to cut their hair, and I had just cut my hair. So at that point, he's kind of giving up the 5 points of like what a high value man is, right? And so from there, I just kind of stumbled on them. I stumbled on him, stumbled on Rolo, stumbled on the Fresh and Fit when Kevin was on their channel. I used to listen to Tommy Sotomayor all the time. Solo, what's the other guy's name? Anyways, there's a bunch of people his name, and just ultimately, what I ended up doing, just grabbing different types of information from different places, watching the men, how they dressed, how they moved, and then kind of just use that and put that into my own formula to kind of grow myself to where I am right now. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's what's up, bro. And like I said, everyone on the panel, we're gonna do individual shows. I'm gonna reach out to each and every one of you brothers. I already got JR. I'm gonna reach out to the rest of y'all. We're gonna do individual shows because the more I know about you guys, the more interesting you guys are, the more we got to get this out here. Because this is the DL saying I really want to know, and I do want to know like how you got into these different aspects of life and how you came to these decisions. Colonel Sanders is in the house, man. Like he said, like shout out to Fresh and Fit Dallas from Fresh and Fit Tampa. We out here. We got the Better Gents podcast out here in the Tampa area. Colonel Sanders is out here. I'm out here. Yo, I don't know, man. We might have to get a squad together, bro. I don't know, man. We might have to play a little basketball or something. You know what I mean? Little whatever sport y'all in, and make this real man stuff. Let's do something competitive. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna play soccer because y'all just put JR in front of the goal and we'll never be able to score. So big.
Nah, JR's gonna be at the bodybuilding dude, man. That's his sport.
Man, he ain't joking. So we're gonna do Brother Donnie next, and then we'll finish strong with JR as to your I guess this is the Red Pill Awakening. Is that what this is, or how you discovered how you discovered the how you discovered the manosphere?
Yeah. So it actually started a couple years back. You know, I started out watching Kevin Samuels on YouTube, and at that time I was actually in a relationship. I was engaged to someone I was with for about 3.5 years before it ended. But leading up to that breakup, I noticed there were some things that kind of changed about her that I knew deep down inside. One of the biggest things that I got to realize was hypergamy, due to especially with social media nowadays. I noticed she started living vicariously through a lot of social media content creators that she would be looking at and things like that. And it was just a little off, you know? And sure enough, that ended. Obviously, she thought she wanted to get with something else. It is what it is. And I've grown from that. You know, and from Kevin Samuels, watching him, of course, I ended up finding out through Fresh and Fit, and happened to be my best friend that sent me a clip from Fresh and Fit. Because, you know, whenever they start trending on social media, it's usually for like what a lot of people look at as the wrong things. But to me, I was like, oh, shit, they speaking facts, you know. Started watching a couple more clips, ended up watching full episodes because I wanted to hear more content and stuff. And I realized, you know, like, damn, there's actually men out there that actually think like me, that notices these kind of things of the new social media era, the digital era, those kind of things, and how it, truth be told, fucks up a lot of relationships, or at least can if you're not in control. And then from Fresh and Fit, Greg Adams, you know, that's another big content creator that I usually watch often. But yeah, that's really was my biggest awakening. But yeah, that's pretty much
what's
it.
Up. That's what's up, man. I got, like I said, the Magnificent Seven, bro. Y'all, for real. All we got to do is get y'all guns or samurais. Y'all samurai swords. Y'all go out there. G Complex 217's in the house. Hey. Yo, that's my brother, Chris. Yo, listen. I had him on the show as well. He's a financial coach. He's all about financial literacy and helping people get out of crushing debt, because people just don't know, you know, they get in and they don't know how to get out. Shout out to you, brother. He's also done a show. We're going to bring him back because I want to keep revisiting that. So, and
what's his name?
That's Chris.
That's G Complex 217. He did a show with me on this platform. So go check him out. He is the man. And then I think somebody had, look at this. My people out here in Tampa. This is my man, Colonel Sanders. You don't want the smoke.
Shit.
Here we go. Y'all don't take it easy on nobody. Y'all don't take it easy on nobody, man. Talking that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I mean? It's all right. They ain't playing, bro. Like, that's what I love about this community. You know what I mean? We play hard. We work hard. That's how it is. We hold each other accountable. Save the best for last. JR, bro. How the hell did you wind up in this world? Tell us about it.
Okay. All right. So in college, I really didn't have problems like talking to people, meeting girls. That was really the issue. I'm on the same boat as Sika, more like self-improvement. What happened? I remember what happened was that I recently got laid off at a job back in 2019. This is before the pandemic. I recently got laid off, and I started like blaming like everyone right around me, right? Not like I wasn't blaming like people, or I was just blaming just everything. Like, oh, this stupid pandemic is the reason why I can't get a job. I can't move forward in life because of this reason. And I started listening to Kevin Samuels. He's the reason. I was laying in bed and I was just watching like TikTok, just pretty much wasting my life away at that point. I was watching TikTok and I saw Kevin Samuels, and he was just spitting some real facts. I think he was just going off on some woman, and I started applying like his logic towards like life itself. And I was like, he's talking about like accountability and all this other stuff. And next thing you know, I started like saying like, you know what, this man is like, he's speaking facts. You know what I mean? Like he's not like everything he said within that 2 minutes of that TikTok, like I did not disagree with. So I went on YouTube, I typed in his name, watched all of his segments. Then one of the recommendations on the side, it said Fresh and Fit. And I saw one episode of Fresh and Fit, and of course, it was the ladies that attracted me to the video. You're like, hey, there's some girls on here. Let's see what they're about. And then I remember Myron started going ham on these girls. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I like where this is going. He's not holding back. It's all gas, no brake. I was just like, okay, I love this. So next thing you know, I started reflecting on my life, on what everything he was saying. And I was like, this is the lifestyle this is the mindset I need in my life. This is the kind of men that are helping me, because the people that I was with before I met these gentlemen here, they're like hella blue pill. They're like, yo, consider their feelings. This isn't how it works because you don't understand what they're going through, and all this other stuff about how life should be versus what it is. So I started reflecting on myself, and then about who I was with. And I remember Myron said at one point, if you hang out with blue pill people, they're just gonna pull you down with them, and you're just gonna end up failing with them. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is right, because I started like reflecting on how they're not taking me anywhere, they're not bettering me, they're not doing anything that would benefit my life. So I cut them out, right? And then I met Rod. I remember Rod had called in on the call-in show, and I wanted to reach out to Rod because Myron's like, yo, hit up Rod Eric, he's from Dallas. And at that point, I cut everybody out of my life. That was like hella blue pill. All my other friends, they all live in different states, so obviously I really couldn't reach out to them. So I was like, maybe Roger Eric could be my first friend in Dallas, my first real friend that me and him have the same mentality. And reached out to him, and I met these fine gentlemen next, everybody on the screen, and I got to meet DL Saint, you know what I mean? And then we continue to motivate each other every day by just talking to each other and learning from each other and stuff like that. And that's the reason why I'm here to stay. And I honestly believe that I lost a lot of real good people in my life because I'm over here trying to spread the word, right, of this red pill community. But they think I'm toxic and toxic masculinity and all this other stuff that I really don't want to hear. Yeah, it is. Logic doesn't work on these people. Like if you use logic, they don't want to hear it, because their feelings come first before logic. So I'm cool leaving them in the dust, leaving them in my rearview mirror, and because I met these fine gentlemen here.
Man, that's what's up. And when I get my StreamYard, when I get my Stream Deck going, one of my buttons is gonna be it's gonna be Myron's voice. Fuck your feelings. I'm gonna have a button.
That'll be legendary. Yeah, that'll be dope.
So, Brother Ness, I wanted to highlight this chat right here. Brother Ness, I came to the Manosphere by accident. I saw Fresh and Fit sitting with girls, and my recommendation and thoughts is a feminist podcast since it was mostly girls on, and then that kind of let him in there. That late night show, which I ain't gonna lie to you, man, I can't, being old, I ain't got any hair left, and I'm like, if I had any, it would be gone. Those girls drive me crazy, but I like the daytime shows. Yeah. I like the other shows, and I kind of flipped through them. And then there was another one that Colonel Sanders was saying, and I think this is powerful right here. The hardest part about being a part of this space is remembering that you are not alone. And men need to know that. Men need to know that. We tend to be out here as men alone, right, I'm gonna be all right, I'm this, I'm that, whatever. But that right there is powerful. And that, to me, that is what's good about the space. And now we're not gonna be orderly anymore. Now we're just about to have a talk, bro. We're in the barbershop. It's about to go down. I'm gonna throw some questions out there, and I want to hear what people got to say on this panel.
Get it.
So, fellas, tell me 3 good things about the manosphere, red pill world, and 3 bad things. Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna go first. I ain't gonna lie. All right.
Go ahead.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Man. Okay, so like, I would say, so full disclosure, I'm the quote unquote like philosopher. I took one of my degrees was going to be in philosophy, politics, and economics. And so like just from an observational standpoint, 3 great things. I'm gonna start there actually. I'm gonna start with the bad thing. I'm gonna end on the good, so it's always ending on a high note.
Perfect.
So the bad thing about the manosphere, and I'm not gonna say the manosphere itself because I think that's kind of like just the group. But there's philosophies behind the group that are really good. I would say like the people that kind of fall into the manosphere. Is that a lot of people use it as a crutch. I think Rolo talks about this a lot. A lot of people use it as a crutch to validate why they aren't where they're at. So for example, on Kevin Samuels' show, one guy comes in, he says, "Black women are my problem." And he was like, "Black women aren't your problem. Your pocket is your problem." Another guy was like, or Kevin was like, "You got a big dick? You ain't got a big dick? You ain't got a big wallet? What are you giving her?" Right? Stuff like that. It happens on Fresh and Fit's calling shows often too, where guys will call in and they'll be on the phone for roughly about 5 minutes, just saying, this is why I can't. And Myron is just, you can't have it no more. And he's just going off on him. "You're a fat fuck," stuff like that. And so a lot of people kind of just fall in and they hear all of the stuff that they want to hear. And they don't hear about the accountability part that moves moves the goalpost forward in your personal life. And so I would say that that's one of the bad things. Another bad thing is that I believe Colonel Sanders said that you're not alone. A lot of people kind of want to alpha their way through life, and they want to, again, use the manosphere as a means to do that. They come in and ultimately, like, I think some of y'all might have seen it at the meet and greet. We're talking, I get on the microphone, I'm like, "Hey, I know this is a meet and greet for Fresh and Fit, but they're gonna leave. What are you gonna do after that?" Network. And I pause and I'm looking around and nobody's moving. And I go, "I'm talking to you. I'm talking, I look at one guy because he's looking dead at me. I'm like, "I'm talking to you." And then he just kind of laughs and nothing happens. And I'm looking around. I know I'm moving everywhere, but I'm still watching. And the guy didn't move. And I'm like, "Well, see, that's what's going to happen." Now, I don't know his personal life. I'm just assuming based on what I saw at the meet and greet, but that's kind of what I observed. Like, a lot of times people just want they want to use the good talking points as an excuse for why they're not moving. They want to alpha their way through life, and then they want to use the manosphere as a means to do it. "I'm an alpha, I'm a lone wolf," whatever that is. And then I would say, like, the last thing is that a lot of people have issues with application. So they know all the information, but it's almost like what's it called, paralysis by analysis. So they know all the information, but when the rubber meets the road, they're not really doing things, right? Especially so Fresh and Fit talk about this. Well, they used to talk about this often. They don't talk about it as much. But I remember Myron specifically said that one of his biggest issues with the guys that tune in. This is when I forget her name. Jessica. Her name was Jessica, the girl who Kevin Samuels was like, yes, when he was like, when OnlyFans is no longer here, Subway will be
Subway.
When he said that, yeah. So when he said that, they had went on to I believe they had went on to I think the roommates came on to their show again. But Myron said, "Old girl ended up getting like 15,000 followers, and it made him angry that she was able to do all that, still get 15,000 followers." And he was like, "To be honest with you, our main not desire, but what we enjoy the most is the daytime shows, because that's when we're doing the personal development, Money Mondays, Fitness Fridays, Womanizer Wednesdays. And this is when it's all about self-improvement for the men." But he's like, "But nobody tunes in, or not as many people tune in for the daytime show as the nighttime show. He's like, they just want to see guys kick girls off the show.
Yep.
And so that's just, another thing where that I through observation that a lot of times guys come in and they have stories that I'm not taking the stories away from anybody, but in general, what happens is they'll take the stories, they'll take the information, and they won't apply it. And then they want to go around not networking, not getting around guys who's going to help build you. And then again, they want to use that. They want to use the talking points as almost like body armor to prevent them from having to take personal accountability.
And not to put words in your mouth, but it sounds a lot like they're not doing what the tenet is. Do the work. Shout out to Rich Cooper. You have to do the work. And it seems to me that they want to do cheat codes. Well, if I go in here and I act a certain way, I don't have to own up to my shortcomings.
Right. No, definitely. And it's just one of those things where it's not just a tenet, it's how life is designed to operate. You know what I'm saying? So like one of the things I used to think about before I even got into the manosphere, just trying to learn how to reprogram my mind to be accountable. If this is philosophy seeker, so give me a second. So let's say you want to plant a tree, right? Put the seed in the ground. All the information, right? I know that if I put the seed in the ground, that's the first step. If I water the plant, that's the second step. If the sun comes on it, that's another step, right? All that stuff, right? It's all in your head. But if you don't actually put the seed in the ground, application, if you don't actually water the seed, application, if you don't actually put it in the sunshine, application, no matter what you know in your mind, the seed's not going to grow. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And
that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what tends to happen. People kind of just become like red pill philosophers, but in their personal life, nothing's moving. And they're like, well, I'm smarter than everybody else, but that doesn't really matter if you're broke, or that doesn't matter if you have, women problems.
That's
right.
That's real talk. That's real talk. Brother Roman Branson, thank you for coming through, man. I'll be seeing you, man. You be rocking with a brother. Much respect to the Fresh and Fit Dallas fam. And Tia Kiki, I wanted to get to this. Tia, one of the hardcore Fresh and Fitters over there, man.
Oh yeah,
a sister,
that's her.
A woman,
yeah,
a real woman. She ain't hiding behind.
Join that Discord. Chop it up with us.
Yo, shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Nothing but love for DL and the Fresh and Fit fam. Thank you so much. And like Candace and Tia, do me a favor, answer that question too in the chat. What are your 3 good things about the Red Pill world and the 3 bad things about the Red Pill world? I'm curious to hear that from a female perspective. So so yeah, Single, were you done, or did you have some more to add to that?
I'm just gonna knock out the 3 good things without the dialogue. But yeah, so 3 good things: self-improvement, great. Hell of accountability. That's what everybody needs. And then the third thing is you do get to see application, like you do get to see the process. So Myron and Fresh, I remember when I first started watching them. I remember when I first started, when I went back and started watching Kevin Samuels, a lot of these guys. This is when Myron used to have the leather jacket on. Now he's wearing the sweaters or the hoodies and stuff like that. So I got to see, you get to see them day by day as they're growing. So it makes everything that much more real and tangible. And they said themselves, they were nerds, they were gamers. They just started doing the work. So that's a great thing that happens in the manosphere. You get to see guys as they're going through the process.
Who else wanted to chip in on that? Go ahead.
I guess I'll go. So I guess just to add to what Zeke was saying, like, I mean, he pretty much was taking a lot of my points. So shout out to you, great minds think alike. But I'll just add to it, like, I mean, I have all 3 like bad things, but I'll just name off the 2. Just a loss of focus. I think that the manosphere gets so far and it's trying to get so big that they lose focus on the main goal, and that's helping men, getting them to where they be, and then that's where accountability and application applies into it. So there's a lot of friction and a lot of this different fighting and bickering, and I typically try to stay away from that. I hear it from time to time, and it'll come on my feed, but I got a lot of that stuff out early when I started getting into the manosphere with AMS. He would talk about it. He would hear all that bad shit on the other side, and he would say, okay, look, I'm finna come with y'all solutions. If y'all coming to my channel, we not coming over here bitching, complaining about why we're losing focus. This is what we're trying to do. And then my second point would be too much content. I think guys come into the manosphere, and then the negative part about that would be is they consume too much content. man, keep your. I got a starting five. Like I told y'all earlier, AMS. He would be my offensive coordinator because I have a football background. He would be my offensive coordinator because he's more about offense, offense, offense. Coach Greg Adams will be my defensive coordinator. He's more about defense in the manosphere, defense, making sure that you protect yourself, right? The my positional coaches, would be Myron and Fresh. And then I got a guy out there in Prague named Alf. His name is Austria Dick. He talks about a lot of manosphere from the side of being on a whole nother part of the in the Middle East in Prague and stuff like that. So I got so many different aspects that I can look from, and I don't allow the content to consume because then you lose focus and then you lose track. My three things that I would say would be the good thing is that this is truly a league of extraordinary gentlemen. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. There's a movie called The League of Extraordinary Gents. Like this is kind of somewhat of a frat, but it's not like you being hazed to get in. This is something if you want it, it's available to you. If you don't, then it's all on you, right? And then my last thing I would say is that there was a movie for you young folks. Y'all don't know Glenn Ross. I don't know if you ever seen the movie DL Saint, but it's a movie. It's the emphasis. The movie talks about like basically like sales and stuff like that, but it's a mentality. And the one thing that I forgot the actor's name right now. I can't think of it, but he talked about ADIA and there's attention, right? Do I have your attention? Decision. Are you ready to make a decision? It's either yes or no, fuck or walk. Interested. Are you interested? Are you interested in what we're talking about in action? What Zika said, application. So ADIA, ABC, always be closing. Close on your ideas and act on it. Execute. Whatever you have, write it down. Put down a plan. Shout out to what's his name on Fresh and Fit. We talked about putting a calendar together, mapping
Brandon
your day
Carter.
Brandon
out.
Carter.
Yeah, Brandon Carter. Thank you guys. Brandon Carter. Mapping out your day, learning what you have. And when we do my interview one-on-one, I'm gonna break all this stuff down, man. So people that really want to know like where I am and where I'm going, this will be me and DLC. We're gonna get together. That show is gonna be legendary because I'm gonna give you free game on what I did and how I became who I am today. So that's pretty much all I got. Shout out to you, Zika, bro. You had the point, so that's all for me.
That's what's up. And I'm gonna start moving fast because we're already an hour in. So we're
Yeah.
gonna cut it off at 2 hours. So you see
Okay.
how fast time goes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And because if I didn't do this, bro, we'd be on here for 8 hours. And I'm like, you know what? I want to make
No,
sure.
we good. I know.
So if
So we can talk so
Right.
much, bro. Like it's so much, bro. It's overwhelming, and there's so much content that we can give, but we can only do it, one thing at a time.
So, and I'm gonna throw this out here, man. And people have kind of touched on it, but no one's hit it directly. And it's funny that G Complex, when you were saying that, bro, he put it in the chat. He was like, ABC, always be closing. He put that in the chat as you were saying it.
No,
So that's the thing. But here's
Yeah,
here's the thing that I think the folks on the blue pill side of the world, and then those folks who are just kind of in the middle and just curious, they want to know why Fresh and Fit. Like, why Fresh and Fit? Why not, why not Entrepreneurs in Cars? Why not, the Better Bachelor? Why not Rolo Tomasi? Why Fresh and Fit? And again, y'all got to just jump in there now, man. We free for all in right here.
somebody go for it. Let's.
Fuck it.
I go.
There's
That's what I'm gonna say.
so there's
Go, cause I go. I tell you why.
because you are.
We gonna go with Rod. We gonna go with Rod last. But Jr., let me hear why
Yeah.
Fresh and Fit for you, brother.
I guess because I just can relate to them, and I know that because they're hard hitting, they're very controversial, and I'm not scared of that. They put in the work, they love hard work, and I'm about that as well. I feel like I can reflect myself with them, and regardless how they talk to women or what their views are, I stand behind them 100%.
And brother D, why you? Because I see you over. You a thinker. I know you like to take it all in. You know what I mean? So what are you thinking over there with your hand on your chin right now? Donnell, why Fresh and Fit?
Yes, sir. That's the shooter.
to go back off of what JR was just mentioning, the reason why Fresh and Fit is because the thing is that they hold everybody accountable, men and women. And they say shit that you really want to say, but you can't because you're worried about, oh, I might lose my job or whatever the case may be. You know, I might get canceled, whatever the situation is. But at the end of the day, the main thing that they really, really focus heavily on is how to help men rebuild and maintain masculine frame. And they are very, very particular about that. And one thing I learned about them from the meet and greet, they are congruent with everything they preach. Everything.
Okay. And I'm glad you said that. And Roger, at the end of the show, we're definitely going to let you tell why Fresh and Fit. We'll probably close with that with you, but because of what you just said, first I got two questions, fellas. Who here hates women?
Definitely not me.
That's a good question. Women over here.
No, we don't hate women. So I'm second biggest. I'm like, one of us gonna have to do this.
Yeah, we love women over here, bro.
I almost did it. Nah,
and this one just real quick for everybody, and we're gonna go reverse. We'll start with Donnell and then go reverse. You know, people think that the red pill. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to answer the previous question real quick. Like, why Fresh and Fit as opposed to everybody else? You know what I'm saying? Because I had a long time listening to or watching a lot of Black Manosphere content, and it was right around the time where dudes start live streaming, like how we're doing right now. And in my opinion, a lot of dudes did not take it as serious as they could have or should have. You know what I'm saying? And they had the setups was like it wasn't good, you know what I mean? And like Myron and Fresh, they were the first ones, in my opinion, that actually went all in with their own money and had a whole setup looking like a damn TV show, looking like Howard Stern or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And they like literally built themselves up to the point where they're at now in front of everyone's eyes. You know what I'm saying? And the potential, in my opinion, I saw that from the beginning. I'm not gonna say that, you know, I seen them be where they're at now from the very beginning, but I saw like there was something there. You understand what I'm saying? I knew that there was something there, and the fact that they always tell guys that, hey, we're not natural. We just figured this thing out. You know, so if we could do it, y'all could do it too. Because a lot of dudes that's naturally, you know, gamed up for lack of better words, sometimes they can't translate what they know to other people and give them that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes natural to them. You know what I mean? Whether it's, you know, spitting game at females or getting their money up or getting in shape or whatever the case may be. These dudes, you know, Fresh and Myron, they literally built themselves up, and they both had their own particular thing that they add to the equation that if one was missing, we would not have Fresh and Fit at all. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so the fact that they, Fresh, Myron, and Chris built this thing up from the very beginning, man, and they collaborated on the level that they're at now, and they were brought together by Solo TV, that just is a testament to what anybody else could do if they could just put their mind to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I fuck with them mad heavy, like, as opposed to other dudes that just want to sit around and bitch and complain about females and why they got dumped last week or why they got flaked on. You know, that shit's kind of weak, you know what I'm saying? But these dudes, they the real deal, man.
And it's funny because like this brother here with this comment here, Fresh and Fit clown, corny. Okay, I'll accept that, but you gotta qualify that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta qualify that. You have to give me some examples. And here's the thing, I'm not looking to have some argument. I'm not trying to prove how tough I am. I've done that in my life already. You know what I mean? But when I see any platform that helps anybody, be it in the manosphere, be it in the blue pill world, and people are actually getting the help that they seek, I can't knock that. And more importantly, I know these men. I have met these men. I have shook their hands. I have looked them in the eyes, and I see what it is. Because there are a lot of fake gurus out there. There are a lot of people out there who are just trying to scam you. You know what I mean? So brother, was IKP? I would just say expand a little bit. If you need help getting girls, you're a lost cause. I can't agree with that. I know dudes with billions and can't do well. They don't know how to womanize. I mean, literally. I know billionaires that can't womanize. I know millionaires that can't womanize, and they're tired of paying. They know it's transactional. They have problems with women. Now, again, it might come natural to some people. Maybe to this brother right here, it comes natural. But I'm here to tell you, female nature is a real thing. You know what I mean? So, like, brother, if and you
And
say you,
my bad, bro. I just want
go
to, I just real quick, my bad to
ahead.
interrupt, because he made this the comment. So I want to speak to it real quick about the if you need help with women piece. First of all, I think dude was trolling. I don't think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
if he's serious, then that's
Not
weird.
serious.
To be honest with you, because like let's take that word out. Let's take girls out and just insert something else. If you need help with money, you're a lost cause,
Yep.
right? If you need help
Right.
with you're a lost cause, right? So like, and the only reason this is the only again, I started off with this. My main thing is mentoring, like kind of helping people understand like whatever information, and all the guys on the panel know this. I'm like, whatever information I know, I'm gonna give it to you freely. I think Sam spoke on it earlier with with his story. Like that's just kind of how I am, because I recognize that our society has built itself up. I mean, for better or for worse, American culture is built on individualism, right? So building yourself up, making your own house, the American dream, all that other stuff. And so what you end up with is people like that saying stuff like, well, if you are deficient in one area, you're a lost cause. Well, here's the thing. Everybody needs somebody because we're all deficient somewhere, right? So just because for you it's not girls doesn't mean it's for you it's not something else. You might not be networking. And so while you're paying full price at getting into the clubs, or while you're paying full price for your cars, the other guy on the other side of town, he's getting discounts on everything because he knows how to.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Facts.
You're not
Hey,
lost.
I'll add to that. Like, I was just in the grocery store probably like a few weeks ago, and like they talked about building credit, right? And so when I go in there now, because I've established like a line of credit with that particular store and the opportunities we have with these apps, with the technology, it's times where I walk out with $200 worth of stuff, but I only spent like $40 that day because it like he's saying the discount. Like some people really think that you know some people be driving these cars and they be paying full price. They don't like they get a half a cut of price off because of the networking that they put in, the work that you just didn't see. So shout out to you, Zika. Like man, and then just on another level, seeing it now as we grow into this space and understanding like how money works and how this stuff works. You see these things, you're like, wow, this is just confirming the stuff that they're talking about up front.
It
And we're seeing
does.
the back end of it. Yeah.
And this brother says he's being 100%, right? And I believe him. I don't think he's trolling. And this is why I want this platform. I want people to be comfortable to come in here. You can say what you want to say. Just be prepared to back it up, right? And I don't mean with these. I mean verbally back it up, right?
Right.
And he's like, you really just equating getting girls with getting your
Yeah,
finances in
yeah,
order.
yeah.
And we would argue on this side of the world, this side of the internet, that it is one in the same.
Yes.
If you don't know what you're doing with women, I can sick some of my homegirls on you and break you, brother. Break you. Trust me.
Right.
You don't think I could go holler at someone like Nia the Pineapple and be like, yo, I need you to do me a favor. Go over there and make him feel good. Just sit next to him and get him to buy this bottle, that bottle, and that bottle. You don't think
That's all it takes, bro. That's all it takes. That's what they do anyway.
That's what they do anyway. You don't think I can holler at
Naturally.
Slow Jam? You don't think I could go up and holler at Slow Jams like, yo, I need you to do me a favor. Go chat him up real quick.
Sweet nothings.
Real quick. Find out where he at. Find out where he at tonight. Because we see the bling. We see this. We see that. Oh, yeah.
Even
Uncle Say came from the streets. I will find out where you at once upon a time. I'm a saint now. I'm a saint now. I walk the path now. But once upon
Statute of limitations.
if you don't know what you're doing with people, in particular women, somebody will lay you down, brother. And that's what we're talking about. Now, Fresh and Fit don't get deep into it like that because they ain't from the streets. They're gamer nerds.
Right.
They're gamer nerds. So somebody else take over before I lose it.
I wanted to add to that part. Oh wait,
My bad.
No, okay.
He said people, right? So he's saying you're really equating women with finances. Well, when you put finances in there, when you just say money, then it takes the face off of it. The only way you get money is through personal interaction. So if you don't know how to talk to people in general, you're never gonna get a single dollar. You gotta apply to jobs if you want to get if you want to work in the corporate world. You have to go to a bank to get financing, and then you gotta, if you want to be an entrepreneur, right? You gotta go to a bank, get financing, market yourself. Every single step of the way, you're interacting with people. You're never interacting with an intangible object. So with that being said, it's very easy to equate women with finances because finances always starts with people. And that's the thing. So when people do the whole, They try to do the whole jujitsu. Well, you know, getting women is easy, but getting money is hard. No, if you don't know how to get women, sorry, let me turn it into a positive. If you have the charisma to get a woman, then you should be able to transfer that same charisma into personal relationships to build up your finances. But you may not, because you don't look at it that way. So one of my mentors, he used to say this all the time. He said, "You don't know what you don't know," right? Nobody's completely independent. You got information that I need, I got information that you need. So if you're the type of person, again, I said it earlier, lone wolf and your alpha and your way in, oh, I know how to deal with women, but I'm broke in real life. Well, that shows that there's a problem. Right.
And that's really good. And we'll let Sam put the bow on this, and then we'll move on, because my brother Jay Swans was just telling me stay on mission. That's what we do. You know what I mean? So like, I need to get back to mission. So I want to talk about networking, which is what brought us all together. Yeah. But go ahead, brother Samuel.
No, I was just gonna say this last part. I mean, obviously, you know, he's trolling, but I mean, if he's a real person, that's cool and all. The first thing that, you know, he led with was, of course, you know, Fresh and Fit or corny, and then the follow up with that was, you know, if you need help getting girls, then you're a lost cause. So automatically off rip, we're talking about various things here. We're talking about you know, finance, we're talking about networking, we're talking about fitness, and then we're also talking about girls. But the first thing that he went to was if you need help with girls. So that automatically already tells me that this is probably someone who tunes into the after hour shows, probably watches the after hour shows a lot. You know, over here on this side, you know, especially with FNF Dallas, like we're connected with everything. You know, I always talk about being the high value avatar. You know, you got to have the four elements. You got to have, you know, networking, fitness, lifestyle, and finances. You know, you got to have all four of those things. So I mean, like the fact that he's over here, like, you know, kind of like trolling and saying like, oh, you know, you guys equating girls, bro, this is not about girls. This is not about girls. It's about the networking aspect. It's about the value that we're creating. Fresh and Fit, they create value. We saw that, we took that, we applied that, and now we are creating value. When we got together and hosted that meet and greet, there was hundreds of people there. And I can quote from you, my brother who was there. He literally said that I can walk up to any single person here and start up a conversation with them, and it's as if I had known them for 5 years. Right. That is what we're creating here. Everyone who was there, they got value out of the meet and greet. And it's like, if you're over here on this side of the internet saying, you know, Fresh Fit or corny, that, you know, they just talk about girls. I'm like, bro, it's not even about girls. So that automatically shows me where your mindset's at. So,
and this is why I'm so proud of you young brothers right here. And I, you know, y'all, you know, like, you know, Rod thinking y'all like, well, you know, I'm kind of old. Like, bro, I'm about to be 52. So all y'all still moist behind the ears where I come from. You know what I mean? That's how you make y'all some youngers. But the reason I'm so proud of y'all is the way that you men just handled that. Hey, with respect. Hey, brother, we see what you're saying, but let us put forth our body of work, our evidence as to why we are doing this. Let us show you what we are doing and how this has positively affected us. This ain't about me and my brothers, Jay Swans. We call it Foxy Brown. This ain't about getting that Foxy Brown smashing chicks. Like he mentioned that, oh, well, I know broke guys that can get chicks. I do too. You know what I mean? But they're broke, so they need to come talk to us so we can get them money in their pocket and show them how to get out there and get after it. Who cares about the Foxy Brown? Who cares about the dumb bimbos on Fresh and Fit after hours? How come you're not watching about how to get my credit up? How come you're not watching this about the top 10 credit cards to have? How come you're not learning about how to leverage your money? Like, if I used to run out and pay cash for everything, that's the dumbest thing you could possibly do, because you get nothing for it. You're gonna spend the money anyway. Why not get something for it? So anyway, we're gonna you know, hey brother out there that hates the Fresh and Fit or clowns or whatever. Hey man, thanks for coming through. I appreciate the support. Thanks for the interaction.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah,
I would challenge you to read The Rational Male. I would challenge you to read the Book of Numbers, which is Aaron Clary, Rational Male, Rollo Tomasi, and I would challenge you to read Unplug Alpha, which was done by Rich Cooper. Read those 3 books and then come holler at me. And I mean, even if it's just to tell me how you think those books are BS or how you think those books can be useful, because all of that comes from the red pill space. So now let's talk about networking. Let's talk about networking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And
get to it, hey. That's how we came together. Get to it.
Let's talk about networking. Joy, my brother. Like I said, you the hard-nosed dude. How has networking helped you being a blue-collar man? Because let's face it, in the blue-collar, networking is a little bit different than in the white-collar world. Would you agree or disagree? And tell me how you think, or how has networking benefit you today?
Well, I don't know the difference between a blue collar and a white collar networking, but I will say this. If it wasn't for networking in general, I would not have the job that I have to this day, that I've been at for about 10, 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way everything happens, it was just crazy. And, I got a call from my mom's, and she was like, oh, I know this person. Because for some reason, if you're out here in Dallas and you're Dominican, like one way or another, we all find each other. So my mom's was connected with somebody else, and they were working at this place that I'm not gonna name. But she was like, "Oh, you're in between jobs right now. Do you want this job?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" I jumped on it. So if it wasn't for that, I would not be at the job that I'm at right now. So that's very important. And as far as the whole red pill space, if it wasn't for me linking up with Rod through the actual podcast, I would not be linked up with the guys right here, right now, and we would not have put together this meet and greet, and which brought even more people together. So, I mean, there it is, you know what I'm saying? So without that, you pretty much have nothing, because at the end of the day, you could make all the money in the world and be balling out of control. But if you have no network and you got nothing to give of value to other people, it has to be some type of value exchange. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here on the island all by yourself, balling out of control. I don't think it works that way. So, you always got to have the mindset to, reach out to people, and whatever it is that you can provide, you provide to them, and, vice versa. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
That's what's up. And yeah, I think dude is trolling. Yo, chat, sicking. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'll let y'all deal with it.
If Fresh and Fit so corny, what are you doing here?
Ahead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead and mind me up, bro. I got my opinion. You can mind me up, bro. I'll be a mod for you, bro.
I don't think he's trolling, bro. When he said okay, I get it. I see what's going on. But yeah, I don't think he's trolling.
I think he's serious. I mean, and you know what? It's good interaction. One of the things he said is like, read the Quran. I've read the Quran. I've read the Torah. I've read the Bibles. Right? And I did say Bibles because there's a few of them out there. You know what I mean? Yep. I read a lot. I've read Machiavelli. You know what I mean? I read not only The Prince, but I read Disclosures. I don't have a lot of formal education, but I know how to read. My father said you need to be able to read, write, and understand. Doesn't matter how many letters you got behind your name. That doesn't make you smart, right? I've seen the world with these. I've seen the world. I've seen the world through the sights of my weapons with the United States Army. I'm still proud that I did it. We did what we had to do. And I've seen the world as a civilian, right? There's so many Americans who haven't seen America.
No.
And those are the people that tend to come in here and they got all these negative things to say. All I'm saying is I want to challenge you to go out and broaden your horizon, just like Fresh and Fit challenges people. They tell men not to get comfortable. You can't get too comfortable. And I'm done talking about that. But networking, and Joey, thanks for that, bro. That was on point. I got into my career networking because I knew how to shake someone's hand, because I knew how to say yes, sir, and no, sir, and be respectful. And that led me to a career, as an air traffic controller for 25 years. That didn't just change my life. That changed my daughter's life, who wasn't born at the time, right? That changed the way my seed will move forward, because I had an open mind. And that's all I'm challenging you. Just challenge you to have an open mind. Does everything that the manosphere stands for resonate with me? No. Not everything, no. But there are a lot of good things out there, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for some of these tenets, which I didn't know were red pills. I just knew that's how I was in life. So, so we're almost an hour and a half in. I want to turn this over to y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? And Brother Rod, just because, you're the driving force behind this, I want you to take over this show right now. And let's see what you do for the next 30 minutes with this platform, with what we're talking about. You better impress me, boy. I know where you live.
I got you. I embrace it. So it is what it is, right? I spoke a lot of this stuff into an existence, and it's happening. So I'm embracing this because my masculine frame is on point, and I'm still growing and learning. And I want to go back to add on the whole thing about what is different with Fresh and Fit. And for the guys, for the geeks, and the people that understand video games, when I look at this, man, they really embody that whole Grand Theft Auto thing. There was a that game. I mean, that game for people that played it, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. What Rockstar did was take what people see in their community and the stuff like they did. They placed it into a game and allow people to do it. Now, of course, it was rated mature. You know, you had to be a certain type of, or you had to be a certain type of age to play it. But it was things in that game that just really brought out a lot. And then it was just missions that you had to do to, progress in the game. And so when I look at Fresh and Fit, the graffiti, the setup, like Joey said, like how they set it up, it gives like this video game feel to it. Like you're part of a, like it's weird I'm saying this, but everybody's talking about this metaverse stuff and like how this digital world is like we're embracing it. And so the actual podcast kind of it embodies that in a way where it gives people like that feel where it's almost like you're a little kid again. And it just I don't know. And then the best place for it to be is Miami, where like they saying you understanding the money aspect, the weather, the women, everything that you're talking about to being as a man, like what Myra talks about, like if you give a guy a blue check, a Ferrari, you know what I'm saying, and $2 million in the bank, this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see the dude looking fly, you're gonna see like he's gonna have that charisma, it's gonna really exuberate like that like they say the vibe, right? So I wanted to touch on that. And then as far as like the opportunities, the networking, bringing these guys together and being that, I would say that example that stepped out there in the marketplace, taking what I learned and like Zika said, applying it and actually putting it into play. So I guess far as like I would say the platform, what I would ask the question, right? Um, what is something, and I'm asking the panel, my guys, what is something that y'all don't know about me that y'all would like to know right now? Something maybe that's not connecting, or maybe something that you always wanted to ask me. I'm opening up the floor to you guys. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. What is this something, whether it's good, bad, indifferent? What is this? What is something about me that you would like to know? And I would love to answer that for you guys.
Man, I can't think of anything right now, honestly.
You know,
Come on, man. It's gotta be something. It's
so
gotta be something. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. It's something. They like, how this brother moving like this? What is he doing? Is he selling dope? Does he do what is the girls? What is it?
Let me
How did he get Myron and Fresh? What the hell? What is this? How did this happen?
well let me ask
Go
y'all
ahead.
that while y'all thinking of the answer. It seems to me that y'all as a team have been together for 5 years, bro. Like you guys work seamlessly well,
Thanks.
as if y'all trained. So, JR, you saw this when you were in the Navy, right? Y'all work like a team. You guys work as if like you were part of my TAC team when I was in my Army days. Where do y'all think, and I want to start with JR, where does that come from, in your opinion, JR?
I just think that we all had the same like goals. You know, we all had the same mindset. We all had the same destination where we all wanted to go to. Not one of us thought that we're better than each other. Not one of us thought that we're carrying dead weight. We all had our fair share of work on how to glue this team together. So that's what I believe.
And let's go with the Donnell, man. What's your take on this, brother?
Yeah, I mean, JR nailed it. You know, we had the exact same goal. You know, my thing is, whenever it comes to networking, is personally, I just try to find a hole or a void and try to think about how I can plug in that hole. You know, that's my way of trying to figure out how to add value. And that's really what I do throughout time. And whenever Rod asks this question about what do you want to know about me, honestly, that's for me to figure out, throughout time, and just seeing if I notice anything there, any holes, I'm going to plug it in. And that's how I'm going to add my value from here out.
That's what's up. Joey Crack, what say you?
I mean, I think just having that ground level, that common ground of understanding, everybody may have their own different styles and personalities and viewpoints, but we all have a very similar understanding. And because of that, we mesh, very well. And so far, you've seen the results of it, man. Like this thing kind of happened. For me, it kind of happened out of nowhere, you know what I mean? But
Crazy.
the way everything came together, it was like perfect timing. So, I mean, I can't be mad at that at all, So from here on out, we just got to keep that momentum going. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Samuel, and then we'll end with Cinco. But Samuel, your thoughts. Why y'all work so well together?
I'm gonna use a phrase from the modern woman in 2022. The vibe was there. You know what I mean?
The stars aligned.
The vibe was there and stuff. In all reality, I think really I want to say that Rod Eric really saw like different traits in different members of F&F Dallas. So F&F Dallas originally, this was before I even joined it. This was all the way back in like February. But even before I joined it, there's already people in it. I think Rod was kind of monitoring how different people moved and saw different people step up to the plate and different people didn't. People were just kind of staying back. And then he kind of reached out to that person because he saw, it's like he was seeing like the potential in like different people. And then he invited them like, hey, this is what I got planned. This is what I'm thinking about doing and taking this thing to the next level. Do you want to be a part of that? But he had to have seen that trait within you first. So, when Rod Eric was bringing up the idea of potentially getting Fresh&Fit to come to Dallas, he was thinking about ways of doing that. He's talking about this, he's talking about that. I'm like, I used to work in the hotel industry. I might know this place, I might know that place. He saw that potential in me. He's like, this guy's going somewhere. He added me to the group. Now there's like 3 of us in there. And I think Sika was already in there before me. We start talking, we start planning all these different things. We're monitoring people. He monitors Joey. Joey's he's stepping up. He's going out in person when we do our meetups. He's going out in person. He's talking. We see the way he's moving. He's bringing up ideas here and there. Ron and Sika, they're like, yo, you think we should add this dude to the group? Like, because this dude has potential. And he's asking me too. And I'm all like, I think he's on the same wavelength as us. Like he's trying to level up. He's trying to go somewhere. Boom, add him into the group. We start talking. We start observing how other people move. We see JR. That dude's moving like crazy, bro. We see how this dude interacting at the bars. If you see this dude at the bars, you would have thought he'd known the owner for at least 30 years. You know what I mean? So like he's chopping it up. The first time I met him, he's all like, hey, what drink you want? Without even knowing me. You don't even know me. You don't even know me. The first thing this guy said, what drink you want? I got you. I was like, the fuck? Like we saw how this dude was moving in these bars. We're like, this is a guy who's adding value. Should we add him to the group? Boom, add him to the group. And sometimes people fall out. We had some people fall out, but new people are gonna come in and stuff like that. We see that. We saw how Don was moving. We saw, we have, like Rod mentioned earlier, we have our Sunday meetings every Sunday in the Discord, 6:00. Don's always in there. Don's always talking. Even when we have unscheduled meetings, we'll just be in the Discord, just chatting up. He'll be in there. He'll be talking. He'll be adding his 2 cents. We're like, that's another person that's adding value. We reach out to him. Do you want to be a part of this? And he's like, hell yeah, let's do it. We all came together. Boom, here we are.
That's what's up. And then, of course, last but not least, Cinco, bro. Why do y'all work so well together? You know what I mean? Go.
So I'm pretty much going to kind of rehash what Sam said. A lot of people don't know that a lot of this was intentional. So when Sam was talking about February, I actually met, and this is one of the reasons why I said earlier when Rod asked this question, I know a lot about him because we have had personal conversations since like way back. I want to say early or late February. I think it was before my birthday on the 25th. So
February.
But so like when I first met him, he was like, hey, I want to bring this whole Fresh&Fit thing that they have in Miami to Dallas. I'm like, bet. So let's kind of figure this thing out. He had already started the channel, not the channel, the IG. We didn't have a Discord. It was just the IG. We were just inviting a bunch of people in. And so come March, Fresh&Fit are like, hey, Patreon. Once we get 2,000 subs, we're gonna place to go, right? And me and Rod was like, hey, that's it. That's what we were looking for. So by the time we were already like, we were doing two things. We were out networking with the clubs, trying to get people, because we were already, but when people say speak stuff into existence, I personally don't believe that you can manifest with your words, but I do think you can manifest your thoughts with your action.
Yeah, right.
So we were already telling guys, hey, look, we got these guys from Miami. We're gonna get them out here. Before they even said Dallas, before they even hit 2,000 subs, we was like, this is what we're gonna do. And all the club owners, a lot of them were like, yeah, bet whenever they confirm, let us know. So we were networking on that side. And then in the meantime, as Rob was bringing people in, he was like, hey, this guy Sam, he's a good dude. What do you think? I'm like, hey, let's talk to him. Sam gets in. Another guy ends up bringing JR. I meet JR at bottom line. He hits me with the same line. I feel like JR just kind of, that's just kind of who he is. The same.
Yeah.
The funny thing, I'm telling JR this, and if you could tell, his head big right now. You could tell his whole body big too. That dude, both of them.
Real talk.
I'm in
talk.
The first
Hey, that's the presence.
big outside of blood sport, and he's like, "Hey, you want to drink?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to drink from you." Yeah. I'm like, it's that and the third. He's like, come on, let me get you. I was like, I'll buy you a drink. So we kind of had our little, he ended up buying me a drink. So we had ended up talking. It was me and we were in a Discord, not in Discord, we were in a FNF chat, I believe. It was me, JR and Sam. And JR had said something. He was like, because we had already kind of told him at this point in time, we're making it known that we're trying to we're trying to build something with this meet and greet. And so JR goes out of the blue. And this is one of the reasons, like, I think I told JR this, but I told Rod this too. Rod already knows this. Out of the blue, JR goes, look, if we're going to bring them out here, we have to host them. We can't let them come here and spend any money. Now, what he didn't know is when he said that, me and Rod had already had that conversation like weeks before. So I'm like, he got it. So I told Rod, like, hey, we got to get JR in this thing. JR comes in, right? And then Joey comes in, and then Don comes in. And and ultimately, like I said, it was by design. Rod was effectively looking at people. And then when we brought them in, we had the conversation with a lot of guys, and then we were like, okay, certain things that these guys are saying, he's got it. Certain things that these guys are doing, like Sam was already modding, working on. So Jay already had the Discord that we kind of went into, but Sam was already like building up the little side channels and stuff like that. So ultimately, me and Rod just had a whole conversation before all this happened. We were like, look, we got the guys who are going to be here for just to be here, which is fine. But we have other guys who have qualities that we can, that they're useful effectively, right? And they're freely giving with what they have. And those are the guys that I want to try to bring in and see if there's ways for them to add value in this aspect. And honestly, we did have people drop, but if we're talking about shooting percentages, we're probably about 80%. Like a lot of the guys who are in here right now are really good quality guys where it's like, hey, if you need something, so the conversation me and JR had with Sam, they can do that in their daily life. Hey, you need $500? If I got it, you got it type stuff, right? And that's how we're able to really just mesh because everybody's kind of like, whatever you need. Joey, people don't know, I'm not going to drop exactly what happened, but Joey and some other guys, that night of the meet and greet, they were like, hey, let me just add it. Like we had our budget, but they were like, hey, boom, here goes some more.
Yeah. And don't be telling people that, man. They're gonna be hitting up folks asking for money, man. Don't be doing that.
Don't call me, man.
Bro, let me add this too. Let me add this real quick. Like, and so like when we was doing all this, right, and people found out that they was coming to Dallas, and I told the guys in the group, and for the ones that really want to believe me, the ones that was in the Miami Discord, they reached out to me and they was like, bro, who are you guys? They really thought that we were millionaires in Dallas, like messing with Fresh&Fit. I was like, bro, we are just cool average guys, bro. We just band together. And people just could not fathom in the chat. They was reaching out. They was just like, bro, what y'all did, bro, is like bar none, like it's special. Like, and it meant the world to me because I didn't know what this was going to become exactly, right? But when I stepped foot in Miami last year, 2021, and I met Myra the Fresh, I knew I was on to something. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew that it was something that I needed to do and hold myself accountable. And that's why I was like, man, I need to share my experiences with others. I need to take what I learned from Miami. Don't be selfish. Bring it to Dallas, and this is what it's become. So man, shout out to each and every one of you guys because y'all are a blessing on not only to my life, but a blessing to so many people that just haven't they ninja watches. You know what I'm saying? They okay, let me watch what Sam gonna do. Let me watch what JR gonna do. Oh shit, okay. All right, okay, I'm open arms. Go ahead and take me in. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they watching us, y'all. We got a lot more people watching us. I tell people this on the podcast. It'll be 10,000 people watching it on the podcast, but you got about 3 or 4 people in the room watching one podcast. So it ain't just 10,000 that's watching the podcast, y'all, on a nightly basis. It's double, almost triple that.
That is a good
So
point, man. That was an excellent point. It's like Tupac said, man. For you young guys, Tupac was a rapper. Y'all probably don't know who he is because y'all kiddos.
I
But
know.
but like
I
Tupac
know.
said, man, it's when you start making moves, it's all eyes on me, right? And that's good and that's bad because we hold ourselves accountable now because you guys have committed to this now because you've chosen to represent a separate entity that other people are loosely affiliated with. You got to be on point, and if you're
Yeah.
not on point, people gonna come talk to you. People come talk to me. People gonna come talk to you if things ain't right. You know what I mean? So, and I love that challenge. I love that challenge. Candace M has a question for y'all, for us, for the fellas on the panel, and we're coming up on our last 20 minutes. To the
Okay.
panel, what is the number one thing you hope to achieve as a collective? One, where do you hope to see yourselves slant like-minded men in the next 5 years? Two, and let's just go all the way around. We'll start with Brother Rod, and then work our way around.
All right. So what's the number one thing to achieve as a collective? A brand that I can pass over to the next generation. That way, men have no excuse. They can come in, right on in. They can get acclimated to the system. They're in Dallas, so they can tap in with the right, proper networks, right? If you're in the city, then whoever comes from other cities, they can take our blueprint and apply it to theirs. And then where do you hope to see yourself in the like 5 years? Within 5 years, like I said, we're very logical, right? So within 5 years, I'll be about 39, 40, right? I'll be pushing my 40s. I should be debt free, consumer debt free. I should have, like I said, build a brand within that time frame in Dallas. I should be LinkedIn level. I should be kind of somewhat what Kevin Simmons was talking about. I should be able to go into a room and command an audience, be a leader of men, and I should have been traveled all over the United States, crush it here, and then Mr. International. I do plan on going international, like DLC saying. I plan on understanding my views of the world and not just cased in America, first world country stuff. I want to be able to go out and expand my horizons. So that's my thing.
That's what's up, Brother Samuel. What say you?
Yeah, I think could you is there a way you can pull up the question again? I think as a collective, um, as a collective, I think it's definitely to grow what we currently have into, right now, we've taken over Dallas, but obviously the goal is to take over Texas and then the whole,
Yeah, there we go.
South
Yeah.
region, and then the parts. So so
Look,
Houston,
Feel me?
you
don't
know what
be
I'm saying.
tough.
Houston, we coming for you. Austin, we coming to you. San
Don't
Antonio, where
be
you at?
tough.
Hey, yo, El Paso,
Them
come here.
Houston
We out here.
boys,
We out
man.
here. But
Them
yeah,
Houston boys.
we want to grow what we have here. We want to really take over our city and then branch out to other places and be able to have meet and greets in different areas. As for me, where I want to be in the next 5 years, I'm 26, so in 5 years. I'm definitely the youngest person on the panel and stuff, and just being able to take in all the knowledge from these guys. Tupac had a phrase in a song. I think it was like, "What more can I say? I wouldn't be here today if the old school didn't pave the way." So I'm over here taking in what these guys are teaching me and trying to apply it to myself. So when these guys are out of it, I can teach people what I've learned, from them. So realistically, in the next 5 years, obviously, I want to be able to I'm really big into real estate, so I definitely want to be able to own like multiple properties, just like Brother Myron, and hopefully just be free from any kind of, I don't know, chains of society.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Good answer. We're coming up on the last 15 minutes, fellas. So, as we say in the Army, you can't do it at regular speed. You got to do it at airborne speed. Brother JR, what say you?
Gotcha.
Take your mute off.
Yeah. No, I can't hear you.
Hold on. I mean, I could hit it from over here.
Well, I knew JR was going to have something.
There you go.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now. So what say you, brother?
Okay, so double time. Let's do this as fast as possible. As a collective, I just want to expand Dallas. Obviously, grow it into Houston, Austin. I'm actually talking to some people from Austin as is right now.
Nice.
And then we'll bring it nationwide. What do I see myself in 5 years? I'll be like 40, 41. I don't know. That's actually a scary thought. I hope I'll be like DL Saint.
Oh, be careful, bro. Be careful what you ask for.
If not, I'll probably just start a family, just pass this down to the younger generation. Hopefully I can see this baby bloom into a man.
Yeah, real talk, bro. Get that some thought, brother JR. You need to really think about what you're trying to do in the next 5 years. Otherwise, you will drift off mission. If you don't have that goal, you can drift off mission, and it'll take you to places you don't want to be. So, I mean, you're working hard right now, and I know you guys are in the trenches right now. But take some time and actually think about where you plan to be 5 years. And I think that's why Sister Candace even asked that question, which is a great question. So, but that was great. So, Sinka, brother, what say you?
Yeah, so as a collective, I would say build up the community even further. We're actually working on some networking events that we're going to be doing locally. And then we're going to be making sure that this Fresh and Fit Dallas, what we have going on, what we did actually, we scale it out to where we try to do it quarterly, where we try to do it more often. So we talked to a guy yesterday. Me and Rod went out to a networking event and we talked to one of our guys about getting some other YouTubers in town. So we're working that in the background. But that's where I kind of see ourselves as a collective. Individually, so I got a couple projects I'm working on personally in the next 5 years, to where one, all the stuff that we're doing now is automated. Kevin, so Mr. Wonderful is one of my favorite personalities because his biggest thing about investment is always get it, work the front end, and then push it off to where he can get the royalties. And so that's kind of where my mindset is. I want to be able to get to a place where I'm able to scale this out, scale out the things that I got going on in my life, and then just work them from the background where everything else is automated, right? So just put avatars in place. And so that's where I'm working on, working on with my personal life, with the networking project that I'm working on right now as well.
That's what's up. And damn, that's what's up, bro. So Joey Crack, what say you, brother?
Number one thing I hope to achieve as a collective, so that would be to bring in more dudes, obviously, right? And to just do better in general, because there's a lot of people that they blame external forces for the circumstances of their life. And I'm trying to, I believe all of us, we're trying to get it to where guys will hold themselves accountable and understand that a lot of the stuff that you're dealing with is internal and you need to work on these specific areas in your life. You know what I'm saying? Instead of pointing your finger at everybody else and blaming everybody else. And as far as where do I see myself in 5 years? I see myself being a successful day trader / real estate investor. You know what I'm saying? Kicking my feet up in Miami on a yacht, sipping mojitos and shit. You know
Yeah.
I hope I'm invited, bro. That's all I got to say. I hope I'm invited.
Fucking right, man. I'm inviting all y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that.
So, brother Don, what say you?
Yeah. So as a collective, I'm surprised nobody mentioned this from the team, but so we do have certain goals, such as possibly bringing in other content creators to Dallas, such as possibly hosting a CME here in Dallas. We've actually discussed that, possibly having people like Donovan Sharp, Greg Adams, the GOATs come out here. And as far as my personal goals, 5 years, I don't really look at what I'm going to do 5 years, to be honest. I'd like to take action now. And one of the things I've been working on right now is taking advantage of the networking that I had the opportunity to do at the meet and greet and meet people that work on credit. Shout out to Marky CEO, who's already doing that for me right now. We're already making moves at the moment. So 5 years from now, continue growing my current profession and excel in things such as my finances and as well credit, so I can just, live a healthy lifestyle.
Man, that's what's up,
That's good,
man.
Don.
So,
That's good.
I saw Han in the chat, y'all. I saw Han
I saw that.
big things. You know what I'm saying? We got Miss Globe Girl coming over from the Suzette Speaks world. Thank you so much. You've been rocking with me, Miss Globe Girl. Thank you so much for coming over here. We appreciate your kind words. Love to see men collectively showing love and doing and talking about positive things. Thank you for that. Seriously, from me, from all of us to you, love.
Thank you.
Salute.
Thank you.
Appreciate
it.
it. And that's all we're talking about. You know, it's cool to have the frisky back and forth about the stuff we were talking about with the one brother and all that. That's all cool. That's all well and good. But we are here to better other people, ourselves and others, everybody. We white, black, yellow, purple, green, fat, skinny, tall, short. It does not matter to us. We want you to be the best version of you that you can, period. And that comes from the manosphere. We're not a bunch of crackpots over there. I'm just saying, there are some over there, but we're not them. You know what I mean? So thank you. Candace M., thank you. We're down to the last 9 minutes, fellas. Right now, I got to get y'all to commit to a second show because we didn't get to talk about womanizing at all. At all. We didn't talk about any womanizing. We didn't get to talk about the 80-20 rule. We didn't get to talk about none of that stuff. But and you know what? We just have a separate show for that because that'll be spicy. That'll be fun. And I think that'll be eye-opening for a lot of people on the other side of the world, the other way of thinking, that this isn't about pickup artistry. This isn't about, treating women poorly. This isn't about shoving nerdy dudes into the lockers. This isn't about none of that, right? When we get into womanizing, we talk about the end goal to this. I think it'll surprise a lot of people. That might be me having technical difficulties. I don't know if that's my microphone.
I think it is.
That might be me. See, I'm gonna have to buy more equipment. So, but yeah, thank y'all so much. When we close the show out, fellas, don't go anywhere because once the show stops, I got a few things I want to talk to y'all off camera. So I want to give everybody, we got 8 minutes, real quick. Last thoughts. You know what I mean? Tell me about me, bro. What do y'all think about this platform? What do you think about the chat? Last thoughts, anything and everything that may be on your mind.
I love it.
Well, let's go in the circle so we can kind of knock it out.
Let's start with Brother Don and go backwards.
Yeah, I loved everything about it, man. Again, really appreciate the opportunity. This is only the beginning. What you guys see about Fresh F&F Dallas right now, this isn't nothing what y'all, y'all just wait. Just wait.
Sweet. Joey Crack, what say you, brother?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. It's really dope, connecting with like-minded dudes that's, trying to get it in, man. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And I love it, man. I love it. So next time you're ready to, do this, let's go.
That's what's we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, I know, man. You can't keep a straight face, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, we almost done.
We almost done, and we almost lost. There you go, brother. We got you back because I almost lost.
I don't know what happened.
Internet
just crashed or something like that.
Yeah,
it's all good. So who was next? We had Joey Crack. So I think Cinco was next.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. It was dope. As far as like the platform and everything, I think like how you structured it and made it to where we was able to kind of like go one at a time. Everybody was able to get their thoughts out. We were even able to engage some of the people in the chat. So definitely gonna have to do this again. And then I would say, like, just as far as final thoughts are concerned, I hate to go back to it, but the main emphasis on what we do as men should be building each other up, making sure that we're where we are at and where we need to be at in life so that we can build our communities. Because at the end of the day, the world, the community follows us. So if we suck, if we're deficient, and everything else ends up falling apart as well. And so we got to make sure we're not making it about the girls, because the girls are going to be a byproduct of your success every time. Whether you
Shout out Myron Gaines.
Facts.
There's some old men who don't got game that I used to see in the club all the time, but they had the tables and the girls were there. Were they ever getting promoted or not? I don't know. It's not my job to find that out. I just know that they had women. So women are always going to come if the money's there. Women are always going to come if the game is there. But you can always get what's the phrase? You'll always lose money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money.
That's 100. That's absolutely 100. You got to follow that, brother Samuel. What say you?
No, I just wanted to say, thank you for having us on the podcast. It was a pleasure being here. Anyone who is coming in from FNF Dallas, please subscribe to DL Saints. I really want to know podcast. He's doing amazing things out here. But no, I just wanted to give my last thoughts. This was an excellent discussion amongst men. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, as say, brother Rod Eric. No, it was definitely a great opportunity. I definitely enjoyed the discussion. And final thing that I'll say is that in this space it is tough. I remember seeing a Kevin Samuels video and just seeing all the hate that he was getting after his passing. There's one comment in there that did say something that really stood out, and I forgot what that person's name is, but I'm going to say this comment is that the truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth.
Wow, that's profound.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, facts.
So, wow, look at that. The youngest guy on the crew.
Shout out to who said that.
How am I supposed to end? How am I supposed to end on that? I gotta trump that. Nah.
So we got 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes. Brother JR. We got Brother JR, and then we'll finish it with Brother Roderick. What say you, Brother JR?
Again, my last thoughts is thank you for having us on the show. Thank you for having me twice. This is a blessing. This is something I've always wanted to do. It's always great to see you guys again, even though I only get to hear you guys on Discord. But again, thank you for everything. And I continue to grind with the rest of y'all.
There it is. And Brother Roderick, what say you, man, to end it out?
Well, hey, like you say, man, this is I'm becoming even just more of a visionary, man. I really just thank you guys, each and every one of you guys, from the bottom of my heart, because y'all are pushing me to newer heights and newer levels. So shout out to you guys, and hey, thank you for what you've done, on and off camera, and being able to meet you, brother, and just going on this journey with you is just definitely a pleasure. Thank you for allowing us to come on this platform to really share our experiences, for the time that we had, and we just go from there. And I guess, like I say, last thoughts, man, like really leave a legacy, man, because you never know when it can be your day. And I can honestly say, if anything was to happen to me, I know that I touched so many men and so many,
Pause.
Pause.
Hey, this is what Fresh&Fit does to you, man. Like
you're right. Look, like I said, I impacted.
There you go.
So many men, we'll just say men.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that legacy, man. But yeah, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all, that's what I love about y'all, man. Y'all good. That's all I got, man. Let's do more of these. More of these. Let's keep doing these. Like I'm telling you, preparing y'all. This is the beginning, y'all. Hey, RDC World. We want RDC World too.
RDC World.
Let's go get them, man.
It's word.
Everybody, let's do it.
I got everybody in for final thoughts. Correct? I got everybody in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, and I'll say this, and this is perfect because we got like a minute and a half left. I'll say this to all the men here with me today. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I mean it. Thank you. I enjoy nothing more than sitting down and sharing time with men of purpose, right? And I'm gonna say this, right, to the Fresh&Fit Dallas team, and y'all, when I say it, you're gonna know what it is. And I don't take this shit lightly. When I say it, I mean it, gentlemen. Keep leading from the front. Keep leading from the front, bro. You know what I mean? Because We need leadership. We need leadership. We are sorely lacking that in our society, especially in the black culture, especially in the hip hop culture. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are in the trenches. You're on the front lines, and here pretty soon you're gonna start taking heat, just like Myron the Fresh are taking rounds, just like Donovan Sharp takes rounds, just like Rolo Tomasi, and the list goes on and on and on. Rich Cooper, Aaron Carey, Andrew Tate. So, gentlemen, keep leading from the front. I am DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Y'all stay here.